Welcome back to the Tiger Hanger. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a review of Magic Square's the MS-B43, the Shadow Master. This is Magic Square's take on a Mirage, very G1-esque Mirage. It looks pretty good for the Legends scale. Now, I did get this at Show Z. I'm going to link down below where you can get yours at Show Z also, but it is a pretty good looking figure, and we're going to take a look at this thing and do some comparisons, and then we're going to try out some of these dry rub stickers. Coming up! All right, so here is the box, the packaging, and it does look pretty good. I am going to say I miss the window packaging, I do. But if it keeps the price down, I'm okay with it. I'm not really upset. And I don't do much with the packaging, but I keep them all. But still, there's the box. Pretty simple. Real quick, I'm going to take a quick look at accessories, and I'm not taking it out of the bag, but it comes with an extra face that looks like this. That thing's so small, I'm going to lose that. It has a card, instructions, all that kind of stuff. Does come with this gun right here, which works really well, looks pretty good, and looks similar to other guns that are out there. And he comes with the rocket launcher, which just tabs into his back there. And I think the missile comes out. It's a separate piece. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. You can launch it, and you can adjust it, and all that kind of stuff. So decent accessories, kind of the obligatory expected accessories with Mirage overall. But getting into this, what kind of something that we've been seeing from Show Z is just including these. And so someone said they were dry rubs, so let's get into looking at that. So I'm considering this an accessory because I got it from Show Z and it came with it. And I haven't done anything with these, but somebody said it was a dry rub, so I cut this little section here off, and then I stuck it to them, and I was thinking, oh, I'm a little bit off-centered, so let me peel it up and move it. And all I did is stick it on and rub it down with my finger. And it's on there. It's on there pretty good too. So I'm not going to try to move it. It's a slightly off center, so it's not the end of the world. But now I know. Be on there. It was really easy. I don't know if I can peel it up and move it or anything like that. So not really sure if that's a thing that I can do. But it looks good, and I'm glad they're including it. Think how many figures you can do with these. So let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this. And so let's try to see his face. Let's get it in there. It looks a nice looking face, metallic blue on the eyes, soft blue on the face. Now the face, the behind the chest area, the gun, the knees, and the feet have this kind of odd blue that I have never seen on one of these before, but it turns out that yeah, it does look like the animation model. So I guess maybe it's the most accurate. So with that, we do have some paint right here, and then getting down a little bit lower, not a whole lot of paint other than kind of the sides over here. The rims are possibly painted, a little bit going on right here. So up there, NES. So yeah, with that, he is pretty good looking and very clean overall. Just look at the whole look of him. He looks very clean, and he does look best in the bot mode, which for me, that's a win. I always like him looking the best in the bot mode. All right, let's look at some articulation here. So the shoulder goes out to there and all the way around. And, well, let's say the head too. Side, it seems to be a little obstructed because of the back piece here. So not much there. You do have the bicep, is it bicep swivel? Oh, just the swivel at the elbow, left and right. And is it double jointed? Not double jointed elbow. So not the greatest of articulation. Do we have that supreme... Every single Magic Square figure does this really awesome ab crunch. I don't think they have a non-ab crunch figure. Maybe do their Seekers have ab crunch? That'd be crazy. I don't know. I don't have them. So side to side, we go up to there and then back to right there. You do need to get these hip flaps out before you do anything with the side to side. You do have kind of a what they call a universal joint right here, and then the knee goes back that as far as you'd want, as far as you would need with a knee, and then feet go down like this. Nice little heel spur and everything. Make it kind of solid so you can get a wide stance out of this guy if you need to. All right, through the power of modern camera tricks, it's not wanting to focus on both of them, but I am going to do a quick comparison to the Transform Element one. With Transform Element one, I like. It really is the best one, in my opinion, for bot mode on the market right now, and it looks pretty good. Now, when I started looking at this kind of bluish stuff in the back behind the chest, I noticed it doesn't have anything really behind the chest. You have these pieces for the chest on him, but nothing really behind it. It's just kind of air in a way. And so there's that. And then, of course, going down, it has silver, which is kind of what I've grown to expect. Magic Square wants to hit the cartoon aesthetic and Toon and the Toon model and all that kind of stuff. So I guess that seems to work relatively well. And yeah, it kind of holds its own. There's things I like about this more because this is relatively well painted and it does have a bit more of a sheen to it. So it presents a little bit better. But they're both pretty clean. I think you could argue this is cleaner in some areas, in some ways, than the Transform Element. But definitely holds its own and is a pretty good little figure for around $40. So not bad at all. Okay, so this one here is the Iron Factory, and Iron Factory is a bit stylized, and I went with it because there just wasn't another option at the time. And okay, just be honest, I wanted the most G1 looking one that I can find, and here we are. This one is stylized, it looks great, and it did its job for a while. But you know what really surprises me though is how they're almost the exact same size, and I like the color schemes on both of them. Actually, this one here even has kind of some blue accent behind the chest, kind of like this one did. So that one surprisingly is a similar take on that one. So anyhow, it's the only real Legends one I have to compare to, and you can just look and see so many people love this, and it's not really for me, but I was trying to pass it off as a G1 for a while, but I don't have to anymore. Alright, so it's kind of nice having a few different companies around to compare to. This is the New Age, I think Henry is what they call it. Is that what they call them? But that's their Ironhide. This is Magic Square. I really like the designs. Magic Square's going in this direction. Magic Square. And then this is the KO Oversized McFans Toys. And that is, it was originally Magic Square design, but it's a little bit bigger. And that's how they look together. I think they all blend very well, except this guy. He's a little outdated and a little small, but still it doesn't look too horrible. All right, so let's get this transformed up. I'm going to pop this off by pulling it backwards and then pull this out of here. Now we're going to spin this a 180 like we seem to do with almost every transformation for whatever reason. That's just kind of the way things go. Let's start by tucking away the hands like we usually do. Okay, and then we're going to pull these up here. We're going to rotate his head and get it kind of back like so. And then we are going to kind of get these arms in this configuration. So that we can tuck it inside of them when the time comes. So we're going to open this up here. The wheels need to come out. The wheel's going to fall off this transformation, right? And then we're going to fold this tab around. And this is on a sliding piece right here, sliding mechanism. So I guess those are tabbed. I did not untab those. So you untab these pieces here. And this is pretty cool here. So these pieces untab from those, and they will tab in at the end too. So that's pretty smart thinking on their behalf. So now we can fold this all the way up to here. And they fold out. It's kind of tight. All right. And we're going to have these all the way out of the way here. And then this folds in. This part needs to fold out like so. And this one right here, I don't know if it's picking it up, but it needs to fold out. It will get in the way of the arms tucking in. So now we'll slide this up a bit, and we should be able to fit the arms into the cavity like so. There it goes. Now we're getting closer and closer. Untab these and then slide them down. Untab and then slide them down. This is going to make the cockpit or the driver's seat. We'll tighten all that up here in just a bit. Now this will tab in. We have tab here and a slot there, tab here and a slot there. And then we've got the front pretty close. We need to get this all connected here. Which that kind of came up. Let's redo that. This is down, connects with that tab, and this connects with this tab. And slot. Down here on the back, this gets plugged in, and then these pieces fold out, and then we get into, that's going to tighten up a little bit later. It might tighten up better at the end. See if I can do it right now. Oh, there it goes. Now I got to get into the legs, and so with that, we are going to untab this, bring it out, and bring it up. So it's back leg filler. Untab it and bring it out like so, then lift it up like so. So we're gonna do a bunch of stuff with these legs. So fold the wheels up here into this area, and then we are going to position the feet like so. And I think this is probably gonna be one of my biggest complaints about the alt mode, and then we just get those pieces out of the way, is that the feet tuck on the back. But that's probably my biggest complaint about the alt mode. We'll see when we get there. But this is ingenious though, how you flip this up and over right here. That's just ingenious. And then I haven't seen a transformation like that before. The engine is tucked in there like so. Now getting them out, that's a different story. There it goes. Got to have those nails in there ready to go. Before I get too far ahead of myself, we do need to slide these wheels up. So this is another interesting piece here where it's going to slide up, and then it's going to tab onto that like so. And then we have a big tab right here in the middle, right there, tabbing it together. And then we're going to get these pieces here worked into it. I'm getting hung up because I didn't tuck this one little piece here in before I tucked all that in. So then it was not wanting to all tab in. Got me a little confused for a second there, but all right, so that's there. And then did the same thing on the other side. And so it's quite satisfying once you start hearing everything tab in just right, or pretty close to just right. And let's make sure this is tabbed in. Fold over the spoiler, tighten this up right here in the back area. And I think we could get this tab here for the spoiler just a little bit better. And going around, just make sure everything's tabbed in 100%, and anything that popped out pops back in, so that we can have this looking pretty good. Pretty good alt mode. Here it is in alt mode, and I think it is really a pretty nice looking alt mode overall, and it does actually show that there's more than one way to skin a cat. And I think that it makes a whole lot more sense just going straight through, doing the top, and then going and doing the bottom and connecting them. And that's probably the easiest way to transform this guy, and the easiest way for everything to make sense as you're going through it. So that's the way I think about things, and it's got to make sense to me in my head. So it does look really nice though overall. Now it's not perfect, and there's like a gap right here between, that should be one word. So that's a little strange, but it's not at the end of the world. You do have some detail, like a steering wheel in there. You can see the steering wheel in the driver's seat cockpit. And then I liked how they did the engine, the transformation. That's really smart. My biggest complaint would be that the feet are just kind of hanging off the back. But at the end of the day, looking at it overall, it doesn't really take away from it. But just the fact that, I know that the feet are just dangling there, but it's not really that big of a deal. It doesn't look that bad. So really a great looking alt mode. Awesome. So paint details, we have a little bit of paint right here for the right up front, and then we have paint for, we already saw that in alt mode. Nice shiny shiny on all of that. And then you do have the rims painted and all that kind of stuff, but really minimal paint. And it's not Magic Square's main thing to paint their stuff really well. All right, comparing these things, looking at them side by side with this is MMC, and I think MMC is still hands down the best alt mode for a Mirage, and that Sphinx is just, that's been around forever. It's a good alt mode. So anyway, they both roll, they can race, see who wins. But yeah, it's kind of holding its own with a masterpiece in the alt mode. Let's see how they did the back. How do they match up looking at them from the back? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, this does look cleaner than this one. So, and it's a little more condensed on this one. So pretty interesting overall how the engine looks. So that's a little unsightly right there. I guess that's, what is that, the knees? Yeah, but still pretty nice. I mean, really for a legend scale figure, pretty good engineering. So I know a lot of my videos when I talk about collecting, I talk about keeping an extra in alt mode, and for me, I do like the ability to compare and do these comparisons. So I wouldn't say that I have an extra Cosmos, because I don't, but Cosmos is, you know, it could be any size. That doesn't really matter. So looking at these other ones, this one here is Iron Factory. He's a bit on the big side, but aside from all of it, I think he fits pretty well, and it's a pretty good size. And I first transformed him, I thought, man, this thing is just too small for the rest of them, but I think it really scales well and fits in. So this has been my look at the Magic Square MS-B43 Shadow Master, their take on a very G1-esque version of Mirage, and I really like it. I think it's pretty good. It is not perfect, but I kind of still would have rather had this just be white back behind here, or maybe a dark blue back behind there, but they're trying to follow the animation as close as possible. Maybe I would have liked to have seen this silver, but then again, I'm just kind of used to what we've gotten in the past, so what's right, and are they right? Are they correct? It's possible, but anyhow, it does look pretty good. You can get yours at Show Z. I'll have a link down below where you can get yours. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Are you getting this? Are you in on Legends? If you're a Masterpiece collector, do you think this looks pretty good and should be upscaled to Masterpiece? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Try to hang around.
Hey, why you're... Mirage, what happened? Over there! There she is! On the bluff! No sign of her, Prime. Perhaps she has the same power of invisibility that I have.